Welcome back to the You're Wrong Show, where we help entrepreneurs live their best lives. I'm your host, Justin You're Wrong, and today I'll be sharing the best advice I had ever received from Alex Hormozi. If you don't know who Alex Hormozi is, he's the owner of acquisitions.com, massive business owner. He makes hundreds of millions of dollars a year. And he gave certain advice when it comes to creating content that I think a lot of people struggle with, and it's helped me a lot. So recently I had the chance to listen to him speak at an event called Grow with Video Live. It was essentially an event for all these entrepreneurs trying to make money on social media and build their brands. And he was one of the keynote speakers. And what he said completely changed how I speak on social media. The first thing that he said is that the reason why he had grown fast is not because he had all this fancy editing or the best quality videos. It's because he had great content. And the only reason why he had great content was because he's very successful as a person in general. Like I said, he makes hundreds of millions of dollars. Now, this guy had all this authority because he was a great business owner. So all the advice he shared could be applied to anyone who is trying to achieve that level or even get close. And so his lesson there was that a lot of people on social media are complaining as far as why they are not growing. And the biggest reason is because they're trying to make the content first, teaching people how to do all the stuff that they don't even know how to do yet. And his advice was do shit first, and then talk about the shit you did. And it was super simple. That's exactly what he did to grow on social media. That's what a lot of the biggest content creators do. Like you've seen Graham Stephan grow fast. You've seen Meet Kevin grow fast. You've seen Ryan Pineda grow fast. All these people who've grown very fast on social media, even if they didn't have the best quality in terms of camera, lighting, setup, anything like that, they had great quality content because what they were saying had some real power and authority to them. So if you're struggling to grow, maybe you consider doing more of the thing you're trying to teach first, and then teach it. Although, I will say, you don't have to be a true expert in order to teach someone something. In order to teach someone anything in life, you just need to be one step ahead. For example, if you're trying to teach a kid how to tie their shoes, you don't have to be a professional shoe tying expert knowing all the different knots or all this. You just know how to do it yourself. And if you know how to do it yourself, you can teach someone one step behind you to do that same thing. The same will apply in any single industry that you're trying to teach on social media. So for me, as a real estate investor, I don't necessarily need to have done 10,000 deals to teach someone how to get their first deal. If you really want to teach someone how to get their first deal, you can have done one deal yourself and then teach it. That being said, if you don't have enough authority in your space in terms of how much business you've done or whatever your space is, if you don't have enough authority in terms of what you have actually done, you have to realize that your growth might be a little bit slower unless you are extremely entertaining or can make up for the lesser authority in some type of way, shape, or form, which is honestly going to come with a lot of entertainment. So if you have entertainment value on camera, then you can definitely gain more traction in terms of a following fast. But if you're only relying on your education and what you know, the knowledge that you are sharing, you have to realize that growth might be a little bit slower if you don't actually know that much about what you're trying to teach. Now, another thing that I learned from Alex Hormozi is that a lot of people on social media try to teach in a way that makes people hate them. What I mean is that it's how they talk about the stuff that they teach. Maybe they do know a lot about their topic, but how they're teaching it comes across as very poorly to the listener or to the viewer. For example, if someone is trying to teach me something in real estate, or maybe let's fitness, because everyone knows fitness, for example, and health. If someone is saying, you need to do this in order to get a six-pack, it kind of sounds like, what a jerk. You know, who's he to tell me exactly what I need to do in my life? I don't even know this person. However, if you shift how you are saying that to say something instead, like, here's what I did to get a six-pack. I hope it works for you. It worked for me. If not, if it doesn't work for you, no biggie. Like, do you see the difference in just how that sounds? It sounds like it's very genuine, like you actually care and you're trying to help. And so that's where most people go wrong. They try to tell people, here's what you need to do, what you should do, versus telling them, here's what I did. It worked for me, could work for you too. If you approach it the second way, you will get so much more traction in terms of just the kind of audience that you will build. And honestly, you're going to get a lot less hate. As you grow in social media, you're going to get hate regardless. But I think if you continue to approach it that way, approach it from the sense of teaching from your own truths of what you know, then it's hard to accept the hate and see the hate and kind of get affected by it. And it's hard to be affected by that hatred from other people because you know you're speaking from your truths. That's what a lot of people struggle with. If they don't have the authority to do something or to talk about something, they struggle with something called imposter syndrome, which makes them feel like they're not allowed to share this stuff or teach people stuff because they're not yet to that level where they feel they're able to teach someone something. But if you're speaking from your own experiences and what you're learning personally, you're speaking from your truths. You're speaking from what you know. And when you speak from what you know, you cannot be wrong. It's from your experience and for truths. No one out there can tell you that your truths or your experiences are wrong. It's what you did. So if I'm telling you, here's how I flipped a house, I hope this can help you because this is exactly how I did it. No one can tell me, no, that's wrong. Maybe they can tell me it's wrong in the sense of, yeah, I probably could have been more efficient in certain steps, but they cannot tell me that I'm wrong in the sense that what I did was something that's false, because it's not. They can't falsify one of my own experiences. It's truth. It's my truth, and I'm sharing that to the world. And that's what I learned from Alex Hormozi, is that that's the reason why he was able to grow very fast on social. A couple reasons. He has all the authority when it comes to entrepreneurship and business. And two, he spoke from his truths. It was very genuine. He was simply trying to add to the body of knowledge rather than tell people exactly how they should live. He was sharing knowledge, and that's all it was. And that's all you really have to understand when it comes to social media and growing when it comes to the advice from Alex Hormozi. So I hope this was very helpful for you. If you enjoyed this episode, I want you to connect with me on social media. I want to hear your feedback, and you can find all of my social media links in the show description. Thanks for listening. Peace.